Well, hello and welcome to 10 Minutes Up. I'm Lindsay Kirkpatrick, the pastor of Asbury United Methodist Church in the Pasadena Clear Lake area of Houston and the host of this podcast. I have a saint of a husband named Kenton who works at NASA. He's a super smart guy. And I have 3 kids between the ages of 2 and 7 that keep us on our toes. We realized recently that we're not raising kids so much as we're raising leaders. That's at least what we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better about their level of independence and desired self-sufficiency anyway. With this being our first episode, I wanted to give you an idea of what to expect with us. Every week, we'll provide you with a quick thought on scripture, some top tips for adding something helpful or fun to your day, a shout out Houston, which is, celebrating folks in Houston that are doing something that helps humanity, that is worth celebrating, and a quick Life with Kids minute. All of this to lift you up in 10 minutes or less. So the first thing I wanted to note today is I came across this article in the New York Times a few days back. It was called The Science of Helping Out, and it was written by Tara Parker Pope. She talked about how the science and the psychology of anxiety, of how so many folks are dealing with anxiety, and that one of the characteristics that kind of helps you deal with anxiety is resilience, our ability to bounce back from adversity. And what they have found is that one of the things that decreases anxiety and increases resilience is helping other people out. There's this quote from Adam Grant, a psychologist at Wharton and the author of this book called Give and Take. He says, there is a lot of evidence that one of the best anti-anxiety medications available is generosity. The great thing about showing up for other people is that it doesn't have to cost a whole lot or anything at all. It just ends up being beneficial to the giver. And so I found this really fascinating, of course, because we are living in a time right now during the coronavirus pandemic that we all are living in a time of increased stress, where anxiety would be raised for a lot of us just naturally. And what this article was suggesting is that one of the ways that we can help ourselves decrease that anxiety is by helping other people out, is by being generous. What they found in some of these studies is they refer to something called the helper's high, which is a much healthier high than some of the other ones available to us. And these studies about the helper's high show that volunteering and donating money can actually activate the part of the brain stimulated by the pleasures of food and some other things. There's some studies of volunteers show that do-gooders had lower levels of the stress hormone called cortisol on days when they did volunteer work than they did on other days. And so as I was thinking about this, it also made me think of Moses, because Moses is this man who's kind of like the prototypical epitome of a good leader. And so he is kind of one of the people that we go to study leadership in a time particularly of stress. And as I look in Exodus chapters 3 and 4, at the very beginning of Moses' journey as a leader, what we discover is a man, among other things, who struggles with anxiety. It's actually one of the very first qualities that we notice in him. It's during that scene where he sees a burning bush up on a mountain, and so he goes to investigate and figure out what's going on. And these are the things that he says to God in order, okay? First, he says, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" So he's dealing with that scarcity mindset of, oh my gosh, I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I can't do this. What if, Okay. Next, he says, if I go, what do I even say when they ask me who sent me? I don't even know your name, God. The next thing he says is, but Lord, I'm a terrible public speaker. I have a slow mouth and a thick tongue. Just before that, he says, but what if they don't believe me or pay any attention to me? And finally, the last thing he says there is, please, my Lord, just send someone else. I mean, Moses is a person who struggles with doubt and insecurity. He deals with anxiety on a regular basis, especially in this time of stress that he's moving into. And now he's about to walk into this, into the most stressful situation he's ever lived in his life. And there are two things that keep him sane, that keep him leading well, that keep him moving forward while he's in Egypt. One is that he is helping out the Israelites. Like he's making a difference. He is able to go through this time of stress, even with his own raised anxiety, because he feels like he is helping out. Just exactly what that New York Times article was referencing. And the second thing, and I think even more importantly, is that Moses knows that God is with him. It's about God and him, not about Moses and what he can do himself. So I just want to encourage you for our scripture spot today. If you find yourself dealing with some anxiety, in addition to speaking with your doctor perhaps, getting on medication if your situation calls for it, which is a really great proactive course of action, as we see from the life of Moses, there's two additional pieces that can help us deal with our anxiety. One is to help out. And at Asbury, down on Space Center, we have a number of ways to do that. One of the things that we're doing right now is called a blessing box. And anybody in the community who is in need of things that they don't have enough money to purchase, non-perishable food, paper towels, toilet paper, that kind of thing, they can find them in the blessing box. And anyone from the community who is looking for a way to help others out can, whenever they go to the grocery store, pick their things up curbside or whatever, they can get a few extra things and put them in the blessing box. And that's a way that you can be helping other people, even in this time of social distancing and where it seems even more difficult to help out. Here's an easy way to do it. And the second thing that Moses has is that he knows that it's more about what God is doing and what God can do in him than it is about what he can do himself. And so for our scripture spot today, that's just a little amusing on the life of Moses. Okay, so now for our little ditty called Top Tips. I wanted to share with you today a few things that might be able to make your life a little easier and be helpful to you. One thing I found out about recently that I thought was so great, even though I am sorry to say that it comes from a couple of University of Texas students, Giga-Maggies, but they just created this incredible resource. I had to tell you about it. It's called instok.org. Now they had to spell it kind of funny, I guess, to get the URL. It's instok.org. And what you can do is you can type in your zip code and you click the kinds of items that you're looking for. So for us in this time, it might be toilet paper, or it might be hand soap or Lysol or whatever. You type in those items and it shows you the stores that are around you, like pharmacies, grocery stores, Target, Walmart, all those kinds of places. And it lets you know whether they have that item in stock or not. I thought that was so awesome that they kind of created this free resource for people, and I wanted to tell you about it. Instok, instok.org. Also, if you're looking for something to kind of just pick you up in the middle of the day, every day at 11 a.m. on the Houston Zoo Facebook page, they are posting a different little clip about a different animal there at the zoo. Since no one is able to go to the zoo right now and see the animals for themselves, you can get on their Facebook page, the Houston Zoo Facebook page, and every day there's a different little clip, a short little clip that tells you about a particular animal that they have there at the zoo, and you can learn some facts about them and get to know them a little better. So I just wanted to let you know about that for all you animal lovers out there. And for those who are local to our area down near Asbury, the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce has just done an incredible job putting together some resources for folks in our community. And so if you go to pasadenachamber.org, you will see a tab for the Coronavirus Information and Resources COVID-19 page. You click on that, and gosh, they just have such great information about legislation, press announcements, health and safety, food resources for folks in our area, and there's actually even a place where you can sign up to help. They're creating a database of folks in our community who want to be helping others out, and then whenever they become aware of needs of different organizations in our community, they match up. They're kind of playing matchmaker between organizations who need help and folks who are looking for ways to help. That goes back to that piece that we talked about earlier with Moses. And so those are a few resources I wanted to share with you today from the Houston Zoo, instock.org, and Pasadena Chamber of Commerce. All right, now for Shout Out Houston. I gotta tell you, I don't think there's anywhere I would rather be living during a pandemic than Houston, Texas, because we have the Houston Medical Center, and it's just, there's some incredible doctors and researchers there who are saving people's lives in innovative ways every single day. And I wanted to let y'all know about one of the things going on in our city that I think is just awesome. Houston Methodist Hospital, one of the leading hospitals down at the medical center, was the first hospital in the country to receive permission to try out getting plasma donations from people who have recovered from the coronavirus and giving those transfusions to people who are having severe reactions to the coronavirus and are in need of extra help. And so what's great about this is they don't have to wait for drugs or vaccines to be approved. This is something that they can try right here, right now, and they are having fantastic results with it. And so I just thought, way to go, Houston, and our doctors and researchers and nurses who are making this a reality. And if you are a person who has had the coronavirus and you've recovered from it, and you would be willing to donate plasma to help some other people recover, they have this entire program going on to make that happen. Here's a phone number you can call if you're one of those folks. The number is 346-238-4360. And so that's for folks who have had the coronavirus and who are willing to donate plasma to help people who are in real dire straits with it to be able to recover. And just way to go, Houston, for being at the forefront of medical intervention for this worldwide crisis. All right, very cool. For our last little segment today, Life with Kids. For those of you who are going through the coronavirus with kids at home, I just wanted to share a word with you about that, because I am with you, brother. I am with you, sister. And I just want to set the bar real high here, folks. Here's my question. Did you keep your kids from permanently disfiguring themselves today? Did they eat? Basically, are they still alive? Then good job. Way to go. You are most of the way there. You deserve a medal, friends. We got to be real about what is important and what's not. Like today, did your kids know that they are loved and that they are safe at home? Yeah? Excellent. Way to go. Did you do one thing today to develop their mind? Did they learn anything? Did they do any school-related anything? Did you do anything today to develop their body? Did they exercise at all? Did you do anything today to develop their spirit? Did you have prayer time together? Did you read from a kid's Bible? Did you do a little Devo online? Then call it a day. Great job. You're done. Let's not overpressure ourselves here and recognize the first order level of important things, and then that everything else is really nice and completely optional. Okay? Well, friends, it's been great to be with you today. I look forward to meeting with you again next week on 10 Minutes Up. Yeah, baby.